great vision of what it will become eventually. And this celebration is just to let the city know that the Department of Cultural Affairs is dedicated to Maxwell Street. We want to bring it back to its full glory, and we're working very hard to bring culture and the entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurial spirit that it's always had to light and bring more attention.
It's such an interesting part of Chicago history, because everyone knows Maxwell Street, but they also know about the demise of Maxwell Street and the college coming in there, and the end of an era. We went through that in the 90s, where it was like that was a couple of years long project of wishing well of Maxwell Street. So do you have to not only have success in bringing it back, but you have to almost reteach people that it's back, because a lot of people think that the obit's been written and the Maxwell Street experience is gone.
That's true. A lot of people think that. A lot of people don't realize it's still going on, and we are out there every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And there are vendors who have been there for 30 years. There are people who have inherited the business from their parents. Even in our office, we have a woman who grew up vending at Maxwell Street. And everywhere we go, like we've put together an advocacy committee. We have people from all over Chicago who are helping us to rebuild. And we run into so many people who are like, oh yeah, that I was out there. That's what I was doing when I was trying to put myself through college or whatever. Everybody has a story about Maxwell Street.
Oh, absolutely.
Market. It's super fun.
It's important to my family. My dad would talk about being on the vegetable and fruit trucks on Maxwell Street. I mean, I think it is a part of the DNA of the city. When you want to rebuild it, and it has been there for years now, and it's been more of an open-air market than it is sort of like an open-air festival, if you will, with the blues and other stuff. How do you go about doing that? How do you bring the old to the new?
Well, we have been making a lot of changes over the past year that are probably not obvious to a lot of people, but to make it more attractive to vendors, to bring people in. And there are a lot of options for being a vendor there. We have the tried and true people, but people can come in, they can vend once a month, they can come every week. There used to be rules that if you weren't out there every week, you couldn't come back, you're out. And so we're trying to make it more vendor friendly. We're also doing a lot of things like, we have this festival coming up, but we have music out there every few weeks. This year we are partnering with the National Museum of Mexican Art, and they are out there every other week with art making activities for kids. So they have a different focus. You can look on our website and check out what it is. Like we started this season with History of the Blues, and they had some coloring of old blues musicians for kids and doing different activities. So we just have a lot of fun out there.
Your background is in music. You've been a part of the Chicago music scene for years. How important is music, live music, to the Maxwell Street experience?
I think it's hugely important. I mean, as we know, a lot of the electric blues musicians from Chicago started out at Maxwell Street just as buskers. They would just go out there, play, have fun, meet each other, and one of our bands has the same exact story that was happening back in the 50s, where they're out at Maxwell Street playing, and now they're a band, and we try to have them out there as much as we can. We had a couple weeks ago, we had Circus Steam Social Circus out there. We try to have different kinds of activities. We reflect what DCASE is doing as a whole. So when it is Blues Fest in Millennium Park, we have Blues Fest out at Maxwell Street. We had the Dave Herrero Machine. They had a great performance. House Fest, we had the parking lot full of people dancing to house music. It was awesome. I was thinking, this is at noon on a Sunday. No one's going to be dancing. We had a DJ out there, and people came out dancing all over the place. It was amazing. All
right, so this festival takes place on Sunday, and what do we need to know about it? Where is it at? Because it's not actually on Maxwell Street. It's a little bit north on Jefferson's.
It's on Desplaines.
Desplaines, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So the festival takes place on Desplaines. It's 800 South Desplaines is our address, but it's on Desplaines between Harrison and Taylor Street. It's free. We will have tons of food. We have a special limited edition beer from Mars Brewery, which we're super excited about. You can't see this on the radio, but we have a specially designed label that by artist Jeff Zimmerman.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Been a guest on the show,
Yeah, so we're
He's great.
we're very excited about that. We're working really hard to put this together. And we'll have a ton of vendors. We'll have our tried and true vendors that we love, and we have renamed them. They're called legacy vendors now.
All right.
Because we want to honor them for their commitment to the market. And then we're going to have a lot of new vendors. We have Chicago Fair Trade coming out and bringing fair trade vendors that will be selling their wares, and a lot of other new vendors coming out. So it's going to be fun. So it's about 4 blocks of good times, things to buy, great food, beer, music. It's going to be a great time.
Alisa Baum is with the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, and this weekend is the festival at Maxwell Street. It's 800 South Des Plaines in Chicago. Starts early. What's early?
9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
That's early on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Alisa, thanks for coming in tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Great. All right. Got it.
Thank you.
That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming in.